Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, I bring you the 10 untouched books book tag. Before I get started with the books I have chosen for this book tag, I'd like to say a quick thank you to Cliff from Cliff's Dark Gems. Thank you so much, Cliff, for tagging me in this video. I really enjoyed all the books that you selected, and I hope that you enjoy the books that I picked. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about this tag. So this tag has one prompt, and the prompt is basically to go into your shelves and find some books that have been untouched by you for the last year. And the whole point of this is to get us as readers to do a little bit of shopping within our own bookshelves to find our next greatest read. So I went ahead and looked through my shelves and I picked 10 thriller slash horror books that I was really excited when I first purchased. And for one reason or another, they're still sitting there on my shelves and I have yet to get to them. A lot of them, I don't even remember what they were about. That was a big surprise for me. Like, I saw them and I said, what was this one about again? And I didn't even look at it because I want to do that with you today. As I am going through each of these books, I want to fall in love with them all over again. And hopefully I can add a couple of them, if not all of them, to a future TBR. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I pulled from my shelves is episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I remember when this first came out, I was very excited because of the premise. I know, or I think I know, that this book is about a TV show that is being filmed on a haunted location. I think that's what it's about. And it's like a reality TV show. And I was really excited about that. I have since then read quite a few books that kind of have a similar premise, and most of them haven't been great. I don't even know if this has great reviews or not. But I think that's what this one is about. Let's go ahead and read a little bit of the back to see if I can pinpoint a little bit. So the first thing I noticed is that it is blurred by Keelan Patrick Burke, and he's an author that I really, really love. He has written so many novels and novellas and short story collections that I have loved. So that's a good sign. So this basically says Fade to Black is the newest hit ghost hunting reality TV show led by husband and wife team Matt and Claire Kirkland. It features a dedicated crew of ghost hunting experts. Episode 13 takes them to every ghost hunter's holy grail, the Paranormal Research Foundation. This crumbling derelict mansion holds secrets and clues about bizarre experiments that took place during the 1970s. It's an undoubtedly haunted, and Matt hopes to use scientific techniques and high-tech gear to prove it. But as the house begins to slowly reveal itself to the crew, proof of an afterlife might not be everything Matt dreamed of. Okay, so this is pretty much what I thought it would be. So it is a ghost hunting show, though. That's basically what it is. And yeah, I mean, it is very lengthy. I think that's part of the reason, maybe. Oh, but see, that's deceiving because it is mixed media pretty much. Like, a lot of it is mixed media, so it does have like text conversations, and it has journal entries. And okay, so that kind of makes me want to pick it up because maybe it's not as long as I thought it would be, and it's actually a quicker read. So yeah, this has been a book that's been on my bookshelf for over a year and I haven't touched it till right now, and hopefully I can add it to my TBR. All right, so the next book that I went ahead and picked off my shelves is The Fiction Writer by Gillian Cantor. So this is one, believe it or not, that I see very often because I actually have it facing forward on my bookshelf, simply because it's about writers and it's like, I think, a writing retreat, and the cover is so beautiful. So I see it often, and I always say, oh, I have to read that. I have to read that. And I think I've just neglected it and I've never put it on an actual TBR. So let's see what this one is officially about, because all I think I know is that it has to do with the writer's retreat. And I've read quite a few books. I know I read The Writing Retreat last year, the year before, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite books. So let's see what this says. Last night I dreamt I went to Malibu again. Oh my God. So that's the beginning of Rebecca. Rebecca starts with last night I dreamt of Mandalay again. Like, that's kind of paraphrasing Rebecca. Let me keep reading. The once rising literary star Olivia Fitzgerald is down on her luck. Her most recent novel, a retelling of Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, was a flop, and now she's battling a case of writer's block. When her agent calls with a high-paying ghostwriting opportunity, Olivia is all too willing to sign the NDA. Okay, I'm not gonna read anymore. I think I have to add this immediately to a TBR. So the writer is not gonna ghostwrite, but she wrote a retelling of Rebecca. So there has to be like probably like a ton of references to Rebecca here. For those of you who are new here or you've never watched my videos or you don't know, Rebecca is my all-time favorite book. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier is my #1 book in the universe and the planet in all of existence. So whenever I see it referenced anywhere, like it means a lot to me. So wow. And you guys know, if you know, if you're a watcher of my channel, that I don't really read the synopsis of books. Like this was an aardvark pick, so I probably saw that it was their thriller pick for that month, and I saw that it was called The Fiction Writer, and I just picked it because I don't like to read too much, so nothing is spoiled. But I wish I would have read that, because then I would have immediately, read it, and it wouldn't have been sitting on my shelf for so long without me reading it. So very, very excited about that one. Like, maybe I could rank these once I'm done based on how much I want to read them. I think I'll do that. Okay, so next book number 3 that I picked from my shelves is The Last Party by Claire McIntosh. At midnight, one of them is dead. By morning, all of them are suspects. Okay, so I have heard a lot of Claire McIntosh. I don't think I've ever read anything by this author, but I do know quite a few booktubers that I follow really are big fans of this author, and I know that they're a really good thriller author. So it appears to be like an isolated closed circle mystery where people start dying and you have to figure out who did it. So based on that premise alone, I know that's probably why I picked it. It's a book of the month, so I'm sure I picked it for my thriller of the month. Let's see what this one says on the flap. On New Year's Eve, Rise Lloyd has a house full of guests. His vacation homes on Mirror Lake are a success, and he's generously invited the village to drink champagne with their wealthy new neighbors. But by midnight, he will be floating dead in the freezing waters of the lake. On New Year's Day, Fifian Morgan has a village full of suspects. The tiny community is her home, so the suspects are her neighbors, friends, and family. And she has secrets of her own to protect. Okay, so and that's really all I'm gonna read. So basically, this person throws like a big party, and then they're dead the next morning, and this other person now has to solve it. Okay, so I like the premise of it. It is very lengthy, though. I feel like it's one of those thrillers that's very long. Let's see how many pages this is. That's 400 some pages, so it's on the lengthier side for a thriller. But yeah, this one seems pretty interesting too. Let's see. The 4th book I pulled from my shelves, It Will Just Be Us by Joe Kaplan. So this I first got because it was part of my TBR recommendations. So the personalized recommendation service that I subscribe to, that they have my inventory of all the books that I like and the tropes that I enjoy. And so they recommend to me every 3 months 3 books that they think I will enjoy. And this is how this book came to my radar. I have no idea what this is about. Maybe it's like a haunted house thing. I'm not really sure. But I know that when I was first recommended this and I read the synopsis, I was thrilled by it. And for some reason or another, I haven't got into it. And I think it's like a horror book, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. A terrifying new gothic horror novel about 2 sisters in a haunted house that never sleeps. Perfect for fans of Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Guys, okay, so a lot of you know I love Shirley Jackson and I love We Have Always Lived in the Castle. And Cliff, if you're watching, like you're also a big fan of this book. So what are the odds? What are the odds that I have picked two books from my shelves that reference things I love? And what are the odds that these books have been sitting there for like a year, over a year untouched? Okay, let's keep reading. They say there's a door in Wakefield that never opens. Sam Wakefield's ancestral home, a decaying mansion built on the edge of a swamp, isn't a place for children. Its labyrinthine halls, built by her mad ancestors, are filled with echoes of the past. Ghosts and memories knotted together as one in the presence of phantoms. It's all Sam can do to disentangle past from present in her everyday life. But when her pregnant sister Elizabeth moves in after a fight with her husband, something in the house shifts. See, and this is only right here, guys, and I think I'm going to stop because that sounds so cool. So it's a sister's story and there's an ancestral home that's like haunted. I love all of that. And obviously it's comparing itself to We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which is such a beautiful book with such rich commentary. So I'm sorry I haven't gotten to this. That's what I am. I'm really enjoying this tag because this is showing me all these wonderful books that I had totally forgotten what they were about. Okay, so the next one I pulled from my shelves is Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. One body, six experts. Can you solve the case before they do? Oh, what? So this is also told in it's like just dialogue. I don't know what this is, but the whole book is like that. Okay, let's see if this says it somewhere. Yeah. And there's like newspaper articles, so it's mixed media for sure. Not sure why it's like a play format. This is interesting. Okay, so it says no one saw the killer, but they all saw the body. In December 2003, Luke Ryder, the stepfather of acclaimed filmmaker Guy Howard, was found dead in the garden of their suburban home. Guy was an only child asleep upstairs at the time of the murder. His mother and two half sisters were also in the house that night, but all swear they saw nothing, despite a high profile police investigation and endless media attention. No suspect was ever charged, and Guy's family has been haunted ever since. 20 years later, the sensational new streaming series Infamous is dedicated to investigating and perhaps cracking the famous cold case. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop. So I guess this is a cold case. And yeah, they're going back years later to try and solve it. But I'm guessing that's why they have the newspaper articles, I guess because they're doing research. And it's like a lot of mixed media. And then the rest of it is not told in novel form, but it looks like plays, which is very strange. See, I guess because it's a show, because it says here the title sequence. It looks like a script, guys. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the narrative is. If anyone's read this, let me know. Let me know about this. Well, if anyone has read any of these books, please let me know if you love them. Please let me know if I should immediately start reading them because this always happens to me. I read and pitch these books to you, and now all of a sudden I want to read them all. Okay, so this next one is The Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robertson. So I'm sure I picked this because it has to do with a carnival or a fair. If you're a watcher of my channel, you know that I really love that trope. So it says, the book you're about to read is an account of the tragedy that occurred at the reopening of Bonkin's Bonanza one day in the summer of 1989. Okay, so I love that it's in the 80s. I love that it's taking place in some sort of carnival. Some came looking for fun, like Candy Barton and her best friend Lee. However, like Rocky Rhodes and Solly Sullivan, these others came looking for a second chance. Instead, they would find a twisted, funfetti nightmare. Okay, I'm not going to read any more. So, yeah, I'm guessing this has to do with like a lot of like circus theme and clowns and just like real gory. I'm thinking this is real bloody. It's probably like maybe extreme horror, not really sure. But I do know I've had this for a while. All right, this next one is The Swell by Ali Reynolds. And it says here, author of Shiver. This is the reason why I purchased this or maybe even pre-ordered this. I did read Shiver many years ago whenever it came out as a new release, and I loved it. It was one of the best isolated close circle mysteries that I've ever read. So I ordered this simply because I love this. Sarah Pierce, the author of The Sanatorium, has blurbed it. I have read The Sanatorium and I enjoyed it. It was like a four-star read for me. All right, so let's see what this says. Cut off from the rest of the world, a group of elite surfers are determined to find the perfect waves at any cost, even murder. 3 years ago, surfer Kenna Ward lost her two great loves. After her boyfriend drowned, she hung up her surfboard and swore off the water for good. But she is drawn back to the beach when her best friend Mickey announces her sudden engagement to a man Kenna has never met, a member of a tight-knit group of surfers. Kenna travels with Mickey and her fiance to a remote Australian beach, entering a dangerous world where the waves, weather, and tides are all that matter, and meeting the reclusive group who will do anything to keep their surf spot a secret. Their coastal paradise has a dark side, and Kenna is shocked by the extremes the surfers are prepared to go through for their next thrill. When she learns about mysterious deaths and disappearances within the group, her suspicion is heightened. Soon, Kenna realizes that in order to protect Mickey and herself, she must become one of them without becoming the next to go missing. So, this author seems to do weather stuff very, very good, very well. Because in her other one, Shiver, it was all about, I think, like mountain climbing or doing stuff like in the cold weather. And I guess this one's all about surfers. So I'm assuming it's a closed circle mystery. It has varying POVs, which I do enjoy a varying POV situation. So that's interesting. Okay, I haven't gotten into this one yet. So next I have The Center. Look how beautiful this cover is. And this is by Ayesha Manazur Siddiqui. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is like a horror dystopian book. And I think this has to do with languages, that they go to the center to learn different languages. But I'm not really sure what the thing is. Like what's the twist or like the cool thing about it. It is blurbed by Gillian Flynn. I do love her. I think she's, for the most part, wonderful. Okay, let's see. Welcome to the center. You'll never be the same. Anissa Ella dreams of being a translator of great works of literature, but mostly spends her days subtitling Bollywood movies in her London apartment and living off her parents' generous allowance. Adding to her growing sense of inadequacy, her mediocre white boyfriend Adam has successfully leveraged his savant level aptitude for languages into an enviable career. But when Adam learns to speak Urdu practically overnight, Anissa forces him to reveal his secret. Adam begrudgingly tells Anissa about the center, an elite invite-only program that guarantees complete fluency in any language in just 10 days. Oh, I think they do like brain stuff. I think that's what it is. I don't want to read more. That's all I think they have to do something in your brain, right? Like they have to do like a procedure or something so you can learn the language so quickly, right? Like it has to be science related, like a dystopian kind of a thing. Yeah, I remember being really excited about this. This is a good one. Hey, we're down to our last two. You know what I'm noticing? A lot of these books are very thick. I think there's something going on here with these thick books that maybe I just don't carve out the time to read those very, very long books. Because for the most part, I think they're all very lengthy. Okay, so this is The Enigma of Room 622 by Joelle Dicker. And I just, not recently, but maybe like 2 months ago, I saw someone, was it? I think it was Mara from Books Like Whoa. I love her channel. I've been watching her for years, and I think she read this as a part of book club. And I think she talks about it, and I think she gave it a pretty good rating, and she's strict on her star ratings. So I think she's the one that posted this and she really liked it. I'm not sure. I remember being obsessed with this when it first came out. It might be a speculative thing. I think it's a locked room mystery, and I remember being very excited about it. Oh, it's so pretty here. Wow. Okay. The back says for fans of Ruth Ware and Lucy Foley, which I love both of them. Many readers who love Anthony Horowitz mysteries will celebrate. Okay, that's good too. It's blurbed by Lisa Gardner. I've read from her before, and AJ Finn read from that author as well. Okay. Let's see. A burnt out writer's retreat, another writer's retreat, at a fancy Swiss hotel is interrupted by a murder mystery in this meta-fictional, I love these meta books, meticulously crafted whodunit from the internationally best-selling author of The Truth About blah, blah, blah. Okay. So a writer named Joelle, Switzerland's most prominent novelist, arrives at the Hotel Verbier, a luxury resort nestled in the Swiss Alps, for a restful okay. A writer named Joelle, a most prominent novelist, arrives at a hotel. Yeah, I don't want to read any more of this because I'm starting to see that this is something very cool. So I think this writer goes to this retreat and something's going on with this particular room where he gets to stay. And I love that. It kind of reminds me of that Stephen King short story, Room 14, I think it is. I like things in hotels, in certain hotel rooms that have something particular going on. So this has a lot of stuff that I think I will love. And I think the reason I've stayed away from it is the length. It is very lengthy. This one is almost 600 pages, which for a thriller murder mystery for me is very lengthy. Like I usually do not read very lengthy books like this. So maybe that's why I haven't got into it. But yeah, I remember being very excited for that. All right. And then the last book, guys, is Playing Nice by J.P. Delaney. And I'm not sure. I feel this kind of reminds me of The Chain. If you guys read The Chain, that's a really good read. It's like where they kidnap your kid and you have to kidnap another kid in order to get your kid back. That whole thing. I think this is reminiscent of that, but I'm not sure. I might be completely wrong. Let's see. A gripping new psychological thriller from the best-selling author of The Girl Before. I have not read that, and I don't think I've read from this author before. What if you found out that your family isn't yours at all? Pete Riley answers the door one morning and lets in a parent's worst nightmare. On his doorstep is Miles Lambert, a stranger who breaks the devastating news that Pete's son Theo isn't actually his son. He is the Lamberts, switched at birth by an understaffed hospital, while their real son was sent home with Miles and his wife Lucy. For Pete and his partner Maddie, and the little boy they've been raising for the past 2.5 years, life will never be the same again. How far would you go to protect them? Wow. So I think I got this because of that unique premise. I normally don't love books about like children and stuff like that unless it's like high stakes and unless it's like talking about the what parents are willing to go through to protect their children. I do like that aspect of those stories. But I think this probably reminded me of that. But wow, man, like that's like every parent's worst nightmare that you get a kid that's not your own. Like now what do you do? I mean, clearly the kid you're raising is yours, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm off with this, and it's not as as easy of a choice, obviously. But to me, the kid you've been raising is your kid, more so than the one that's biologically yours but hasn't been in your life for 2 years. Like, how do you just give up this kid you've raised for 2 years? I don't know. Yeah, this seems interesting, but again, a very lengthy book. So I'm thinking like this is the reason why a lot of these books have never really gotten off my shelves. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and rank them. This is not part of the original tag, but I decided I want to have some fun with this. So let me see. Okay. So I'm not really feeling this one. I think this is going to go toward the end. And I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about this. This sounds okay, but I like that author. Okay, so then I'm going to think this one maybe. Then maybe this one. No, then probably this one. And of course, I'll show you now when I'm done sorting. When I am done sorting these out. All right, guys, I have ranked them. Let me go ahead and show you. All right, guys, I ranked them. I'm going to go from 10, the one I want to read the least, all the way to number 1, the one I want to read the most. So in 10th place, Murder in the Family. 9th place, episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. 8th place, The Last Party. 7th place, The Cotton Candy Massacre. 6th place, Playing Nice. 5th place, The Swell. 4th place, The Enigma of Room 622. 3rd place, The Center by Ayesha Manazur Siddiqui. In 2nd place, It Will Just Be Us by Joe Kaplan. And the one I really want to read the most is The Fiction Writer by Gillian Cantor. So I'm hoping that these two I can very, very soon add to my TBR. This was so much fun, guys. Thank you, Cliff, for tagging me, obviously, in this video tag. But most importantly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to go shopping in my shelves, fall in love with these books all over again. It's, I think I should do that more often. When you have as many books as I do, sometimes it's so easy to just forget what you have. And we get so excited to buy all these books, and I buy them and I have all the intentions of reading them, and then they kind of, get replaced by other books that I'm more excited for. But I'm still super excited for the majority of those, if not all of them. So thank you, Cliff, for tagging me in the video and allowing me the opportunity to rediscover some of these in my bookshelves. As far as doing this video, I will be tagging a couple bookish friends in the description box below. But if you're watching this video, I would love for you to do this. Go shopping within your shelves, go shopping within your own digital media and see what you've had downloaded for the longest. And maybe you discover something that you had totally forgotten that you were in love with, as I did. So this was so much fun to do. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. It really does help me. It would mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend who you think might also enjoy my content. And I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Bye!